Well, hello. I see it says that I'm live. Okay. Well, you can see my topic here. I'm talking about why some speak and tolerate. That's a good word. Why do some speak and tolerate verbal pain? So, today I was kind of meditating. I had a gathering today here with someone very special to me. And then after we finished doing our chat, I started to think about not that it had anything to do with what we talked about today, but when Abba give me something to say, I just say it. And so I knew that my time was running out because, most of the day between the time my feet hits the floor and then by the time I'm getting prepared to maybe get me some food because I'm constantly fasting, praying, and seeking God about what's next and what's next in times like these. We got to be very, very sensitive and very positioned to hear what God is saying. One of the things that He spoke to me as I watched the news, I've been seeing a lot, and one of the things He spoke to me was about so much bloodshed, especially with these women, these young girls. Um, and I want to share a little bit about what He's talking about in regards to how we allow how we willfully allow people. We don't even really realize we're doing it, especially with these teen girls today. We got a lot of them being called hoes and bees and the whole nine. And we have that even in girlfriend, meaning woman to woman or man to man, man calling man dog and girls calling girls bees. And, we got to take a good look at this here. So, the Lord put in my spirit to kind of get this first part to kind of get an overview, and hopefully through these different segments as time allows, I'll come back, and of course I'm hoping that I can get some type of solution as you look at some of this. But I think God wants you to first get an understanding and look at some things based on where we've been. Okay. And so looking at my notes here, I thought about it as I was beginning to type this. I'm like, man, all this here I'm typing, this is almost like a book, you know? Because I knew that I wanted to hurry up and get it out of my spirit so I can deliver it to you. So hopefully you'll be able to share it. I'm trying to do better here on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, on YouTube, to slice my time to be able to be on here to maybe do some continuous recordings so that I can be more active on here. And that's why I'm live. So if you got anything to say or you want to talk to me, go ahead and chat with me. But I do want to say this. I am one who's pretty zoned on what I'm saying, so I might not interact with you right away. I may respond a little bit later on. But I do want you to know that it's very important that you share this video because I believe it'll be a great evangelical move for where we are now. People are stuck in houses today, and there's a lot of violence, and a lot of that is verbal. A lot of that is verbal, even what parents are saying to their children. So all across the globe, I want you to know that families of our cultures, and yes, even and we find ourselves in these different diverse, relationships as far as religions are concerned, we're going to see that on how they say on a big wide scale when it comes to women, men are actually taught how to keep a woman under control, keep a woman under his thumb. And one of those ways is with his mouth and with his fist. Now listen to me. We have found, and I know I was one over the years, what I went through. I was one, I'm going to beat me up some people, especially when you start keep calling me out my name, especially if you're a bro. I don't want to go ahead with myself. But I do want to talk about this, that many of those who were taught that, my notes continue to say, is with their mouth or their fist. And then we find countless women and men who grew up in households where the mother was very controlling and Jezebelic, and the father was very passive and Ahab spirited. And when we have this going on, we find women who wind up marrying the father, whether it was the mama's boyfriend that she never married and lived with them all them years. They wind up marrying that similitude of what that person's characteristics were. And same thing, we already know this with the man. He get this woman who is very controlling and all of that, and don't know why he got stuck with her. And so, and the same thing, the women get with these men and they weak, and they seem like they can't get nothing done right, or they just not getting anything done that you think they should be doing for a strong man. But yeah, you want to be Jezebelic and you want him to be strong. I don't want to preach. Anyway, let's go on. So anyway, but when you find yourself dating these kind, when you find yourself in situations where you don't know how you're gonna get this situation straight because this person keeps on putting their mouth on you. So why do we tolerate this verbal pain? Why do we keep finding ourselves there? Well, if you think about it, even in blended families, we have children, even now that we're in this particular, this crisis that we're in, we have children that are in houses that are being cared for others, whether it's aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, whatever. Many of them are abusive to their own children, and you expect them to have a right mouth with yours. Don't think so. My daughter can tell the story that she went to visit and spent all night with a friend, and that friend's mother was cussing her and calling her all kind of H words and UBs. And my daughter was just like traumatized when she came back and told me, Mama, I didn't like her. She was calling me out my name. Because that's one thing I did not do. I did not call my kids stupid and crazy and all that. But that was a whole nother level of abuse that I did do. Okay. And we'll get on that a little bit later on. And so I know I'm talking to somebody, but we have those people who will take those kids, leave them there, and expect them to take care of them because you're so tired. You want them to play this parent teacher now because you're tired. You need a break. Or you got the father who is drained and tired. It's his turn to be the one that's going to be the parent teacher. And so here he go. His patience is short, and then everything he's saying, and he don't realize that what he's saying that this daughter is going to be receiving for her next husband. I know I'm talking about it. Anyway, and so as we begin to look at this, as soon as you find them marrying these kind, then you want to say, what's wrong with her? Why did he choose her? Why did she choose him? Well, they looked at the way you brought them up. You may be still with your husband. You may be still with your wife, but you didn't get to think about what you sowed. But I don't want to preach. So anyway, when we look at these abusive relationships, now hopefully I'm praying that God will get us to understand as women first, because we know men got it going on too, because they do all kind of things, oral sex, anal sex, whatever kind of freaky deep that's going to keep you connected. They're going to do that the same thing with the women. They do all these type of, seductive ways with sex and all that, hoping that that's going to keep you there. And all the time she knows that she's been called out her name, come here H, come here B, you B, this and that, but yet you will tolerate. I don't want to please, you will tolerate that. And my notes goes on to say many of us have used witchcraft in the sex realm to be able to keep the man, thinking that it's going to work. It didn't work, did it? Well, it did, it tormented you. I don't want to go ahead of myself. Anyway, we allow these people and we tolerate these things, because many of these things are already yet working in us. Let me sit back with that. Oh. Okay. Anyway, as a holistic family and relationship, I'm talking about holistically. I'm not talking about where I'm trying to get you to understand your career. Look at me closely. Not your career, because this is going nowhere fast when you don't recognize the thing that you keep allowing your mind to think about what they've already said to you about who you are to them. Okay. And so as a holistic family and relationship counselor, I want to first get you to understand. We're going to leave our coach because I'm trying to coach you somewhere to get you to understand what you got to come out of. Okay. So anyway, it is my prayer that we can, get to discern better. Okay, through these little sessions I'm trying to do here, and to help you to look at the fact that you can get through this emotional recovery of this thing. And then many times recovery is going to take place differently for everybody, because everybody is not made up, didn't grow up, got different issues that they went through for their own personal trauma, that they got to process it differently. But God has warned us many times, sex feel good, they got plenty of money, like we all set and everything, and the house is set, and we got the big church and the fine family. But behind the scenes, we got these things that are subtle that they wind up become trees. I know I am talking to somebody, and the tree is in the bed with you. And it's got a lot of roots that you don't want to recognize because it still feel good, and you're still trying to, trying to rearrange like a chess on a chessboard. I do this over here, and then I can make it work. Sorry. It ain't gonna work like that. Let's talk a little bit more about this. So, why does this go this way? Well, first of all, as I talked about early on, wounds create roots. Hope you're writing it down. This is a session. Wounds create roots. And these roots may take years to come up. It took 50 years for the root of bitterness, unforgiveness, and all that to come up out of me. And thank God I didn't look on the other side. I didn't look on the side that said, would hear the voice of the deception to say, you need to love women. Look at all you've been through. You need to get you a woman. You know, you've been raped, you've been incested, you've been battered, you've been abused. You know, you need to get with a woman now. Because, you know, men don't like you. You're not going to have nobody. That devil is a lie, and he's crazy and stupid and a loser. Listen to me. What I'm trying to get you to see is that these roots have got to come up, and not just how they say, tear it up or whatever, because we know if you tear up something, some things you can put back together. We got to literally destroy it spiritually. We got to destroy the root, okay? And so we've got to get to the matter of the root first. And so why is that then, Dr. Murphy? Well, Proverbs 18:14 tells us that the spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit can bear. Well, the question is, that I have for you, who have been willfully, who have you, who have you been willfully allowing to speak painful words to your heart? And the question is, why have you tolerated? So let me tell you what tolerate means, and then we're gonna move forward and give you one little nugget before I get off here. To tolerate someone or something being done to you, or a painful words being said to you, it means that you are either accepting or enduring someone or something unpleasant or something you dislike, or you just for peace sake or for the fear of the matter try to, how they say, get along with it, or try to see if you can get it to shut down. So you find yourself willfully allowing it. You find yourself willfully receiving it, authorizing it, and condoning it. And guess what? What you're doing is you're eating it, and it becomes this spirit in you that is a wound. It gets roots, and you have already digested it. And it's alive. It's alive. It's alive, and it's well. It's well because you nurture it. You nurture that hell, and before you know it, it's like it's just one more person. That's why I said, people wouldn't believe it, but I was packing a pistol and preaching. Let me tell you something, because I had not dealt with those wounds. Can you imagine that? 15 years and preaching with authority. You know why? Because the gifts are without repentance. And we have a lot of those who walking around with their gifts, got a whole lot of wounds, a whole lot of roots. I know I'm talking to somebody. I know it's God because I'm hungry and I don't eat until after I talk. After I talk, then I can eat. Sometimes after I talk, then I can sleep. But when I have to deliver something, it has to happen in the time that God wants to happen. So whoever gets to hear it, so be it. I hope you share it. So John 4:18 tells us there is no fear. One of the things that I said, that the reason why people tolerate stuff is because what? They want to try to do it for peace sake or for fear. But the problem is that most of them tolerated like I did. I tolerated that man because I was scared, Lord, he might try to choke me again tonight. Okay. Or he might try to say things that make me just, I don't know if I'm going to make it. So my esteem got low. I didn't know how I was going to make it. And I know I'm talking to somebody. I didn't know if I was worth anything. I didn't know if I needed to sex him up. I didn't know if I needed to cook a good meal. I didn't know how to dress. I didn't know what to do because I had been beat down, just like some of you, through you allowing and tolerating this river pain. So anyway, as I was talking about here in 1 John 4:18, it tells us there's no fear in love. But perfect love, we know this scripture to cast it out. What? Fear. Why? Because fear hath torment. So he that feareth is not made perfect love. Now, so he that imparted that thing to you, or she, we'll make sure we don't just make this a gender thing here. And she that said those things, because I know we as women can really hit real low when it comes down to the men's genital things and parts to make them feel like they're not doing nothing good in the bed. That can send a lot of torment to men to wonder, am I really, really doing anything here? And that was one of the weapons that I would use. You ain't nothing. It wasn't nothing, no way. It was just, you don't have a clue. Bye-bye. I know I'm talking to somebody. And so when you find yourself trying to hit below the belt, when you find yourself using these painful words to call them weak and punks and faggots and children the same, ugly, fat, so we impart this fear that I'm not enough, this fear that I don't matter, this fear. I was listening to a tape a little while back. I'm hoping I'm going to upload it a little bit later on about a message I taught on emotional attachment. So go back and look at it and see if it's there. I'll check later on. Emotional attachment. And I was listening to it in the car ride and said, my God, that was years ago. I think about 2011, 2012 when I taught that message. And I said, you know what? This here is something. Some of the things that I heard that the woman that was on the call said, it brought tears to my eyes for her. That she felt so empty from the words and the ways that her mother taught her and treated her. I hope you get to hear that. I hope I get to upload it if it's not there. Anyway, so when we allow these people to impart these words to us, I don't care if they say it softly, you crazy. See how stupid he is? This boy's retarded, just like his dad. It don't matter how you say it, if it's low or high, it's still wrong. We need to understand that these harsh and negative words that we allow people to speak to our lives, they are being planted and they get roots and they demonstrate fear, neglect, and a whole lot of other things. We won't leave out the main culprit, rejection. We ain't got there yet. Got to go. So we'll jump into this lesson. I want to talk about why is it that way a little bit later on in the next session. I want to talk about why most believers, even the Bible tells in Proverbs 18:21, even always quote that scripture here, that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. But we don't recognize things that we're saying about our own selves, what we're saying about others, what we're saying about our pastors, those people who have birthed us out, and those people who we know, our own parents. We don't pay attention to that thing, that painful thing that we've spoken. And many of us speak it and we don't even realize that we've said it. But we need to make sure we understand that when you allow people to speak these things to you, you're giving them willful permission to destroy you emotionally, because it's going to manifest because you're meditating on it. I don't want to preach now. You're meditating on it. Well, maybe I was wrong. Well, maybe they do see that. Well, maybe I do need to lose a little more weight. Maybe I should get a breast implant because my breast is flat. The devil is crazy. You got to understand who you are. And most of us don't know who we are because of the things that we have believed from what man sees us through their own natural eyes. The Bible also tells us in Ephesians 4:29 to let no corrupt communication, that is, proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to use of edifying, that may minister grace unto the hearers. So when you feel insulted, when you've allowed people to say things to you, and we're going to get into that part a little bit later on. I got so many notes here. I was like, Lord, have mercy. I got all this stuff I got to try to say to them. When? God, how am I going to get this? So we're going to talk about in the next section about, how this part of what has happened to us as children has seeped over into our adult relationships and leadership and parenting, the whole nine. We need to talk about this because I know Daddy God is telling me to talk about it now for such time as this, because we got all these people in the house. Mm-hmm. They're in the house and they don't realize they're saying, shut up. You had 3 cookies already. Now you want another sandwich? You're just greedy. You already need to lose some weight. Lord hell. It's real. This, what I want to talk about. That thing that looks so subtle. That thing that looks like it's okay. But number one I want to talk about when we come back is, how did it start? Most of the time, the thing that we think that is okay in our psyche, emotionally and spiritually, it's already wounded us. So it gets really, really busy. So I want to talk about some of the hardest forms to recognize when I come back next time. I want to talk about how it occurs in relationships, dating, and even friendships. That's a big one, because we have a lot of friends that are jealous, negative, Everything you're doing or you're trying to get done to excel yourself, they got something negative to say, and you allowing it. Uh, Please. Anyway, we want to talk about these harsh, painful environments. I want to talk about the first one when we get started about the emotional abuse. And I want to talk about how hard it was for me because of what I heard over and over again, the memories, the trauma from those things that I heard. I thank God for deliverance. I thank God that He's given me the holy boldness to even do what I do today. I thank God that I realize that I don't have to have anybody here. I can just talk. And eventually somebody's going to see it. I just want to see it. I'm not waiting for an audience because I got an audience in here with me, a whole bunch of angels. And most importantly, I got a cloud of Daddy God looking down at me saying, thank you, my daughter, because I know that I am imparting hope to you. That's what I want to say today. There's many solutions that are going to need to do to get through this. But if you would just kind of embark with me, the opportunity to go along with you in this, I believe that we'll talk about one of the first roots is the childhood. Okay, that's what I want to talk about when I come back. And then I want to talk about parenting because some of those things that happened to us did come from our parents. We gotta admit it. Some of that stuff we ate it, and now we're vomiting it out to other people who don't deserve that. I'll talk to you next time. Gotta go. Love you so much. Gonna get me something to eat, please. Share the message. I challenge you. God bless you. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe.